Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's my lecture is about clinical abnormalities during cerebellar lesion. Destruction of small portion of lateral cerebral cortex seldom causes detectable abnormalities in motor function. In fact, several months after as much as one half of lateral cerebellar cortex on one side of the brain has been removed, but deep cerebellar nuclei are not removed, then the motor functions appear to be almost normal as long as perform all movement slowly. Thus, the remaining portion of motor control system are capable of compensating tremendously for loss of part of cerebellum. Okay. To causes serious and continuing dysfunction of cerebellum, cerebellar lesion must involve one or more deep cerebellar nuclei, that is dentate, interposed or fastigial nuclei. Cerebellar lesions are usually vascular, may be due to tumor, abscess, or injury. Excess alcohol ingestion also lead to cerebellar lesion. Loss of function of cerebellum also occur due to the degenerative changes in cerebellar cortex, cerebellar nuclei, cerebellar peduncle, and spinocerebellar tract. In general, during cerebellar lesion, the disturbance in posture, equilibrium, and movement. In unilateral lesion, symptoms appear to on the affected side because cerebellum control the same side of the body. That's called ipsilateral. Acha. Most of disturbance are due to damage to the corticocerebellum, that is new cerebellum, because in human being it is larger than any other divisions. Motor abnormalities associated with cerebellar damage vary depending on the region involved. Major dysfunction seen after damage to vestibulocerebellum is ataxia, disequilibrium, and nystagmus. If damage in vermis and fastigial nucleus, which lead to disturbance in control of axial and trunk muscle during attempt anti-gravity posture and scanning speech. Degenerative of this portion of cerebellum can result from thiamine deficiency in alcoholic or malnourished individuals. Thirdly, the major dysfunction seen after damage to cerebrocerebellum in delay in initiating movement and decomposition of movement. What is the manifestation of cerebellar lesion? Manifestations are dysmetria and ataxia, past pointing, dysdiadochokinesia, dysarthria, intention tremor, cerebellar nystagmus, hypotonia or atonia, cerebellar জার্কের সময় পেন্ডুলার মুভমেন্ট হবে নিচার্ক বা টেন্ডন জার্ক ড্রাঙ্কেন লাইক গেট রিবাউন্ড ফেনোমেনা অ্যান্ড ডিকম্পোজিশন অফ মুভমেন্ট we explain all of this. At first, dysmetria and ataxia. In absence of cerebellum, the subconscious motor control system cannot predict how far the movement will go. Therefore, the movement ordinarily overshot the intended mark. Then the conscious portion of brain overcompensated in opposite direction for the succeeding compensatory movement. This effect is called dysmetria and its result is uncoordinated movement, that is called ataxia. Dysmetria and ataxia also occur in result lesion from spinocerebellar tract because feedback information from the moving part of the body to the cerebellum is essential for cerebellar timing of movement termination. In figure, we show this normal and abnormal condition when we say the patient to moving his arm from rest position to the nose, and tremor increase when approaching towards the nose. This figure taken from Gannon. In cerebellar ataxia, when there occur left cerebellar tremor, there is sway to the right standing position and steady in right leg, unsteady in left leg. In figure we show that. Then pass pointing. Pass pointing means that in absence of cerebellum, a person ordinarily moves the hand or some other moving part of the body considerably beyond the point of intention. It's result from the fact that normally cerebellum initiates the most of the motor signal that turns off a movement after it begins. If the cerebellum is not available to do this, then the movement ordinarily goes beyond the intended mark. Therefore, pass pointing is actually the manifestation of dysmetria. Then, dysdiadochokinesia. Ability to perform rapid alternate successive movements such as supination or pronation of arm is called diadochokinesia. If there is inability to do this rapid work, this is called adiadochokinesia. It is also called dysdiadochokinesia. It is the common feature of cerebellar lesion. When the motor control system fails to predict where the different part of the body will be at a given time, it loses perception of the part during rapid motor movement. As a result, the succeeding movement may begin too early or too late, so no orderly progression of movement can occur. One can demonstrate it easily by having a patient with cerebellar damage turn one hand upward and downward at a rapid rate. The patient loses all perceptions of the instantaneous position of the hand during any portion of the movement. As a result, what happened? A series of stellate attempt but jumbled movement occur instead of normal coordinated upward and downward motion. This is called dysdiadochokinesia. In left side figure, we show during the right cerebellar hemisphere lesion, there is delay in the initiation of the movement. If we say the patient to cleanse both hands simultaneously, right hand cleansed later than left. In the right side of the figure, in dysdiadochokinesia occur in abnormal position, traces of hand and forearm as a cerebellar subject tries alternatively to pronate and supinated forearm while flexing and extending the elbow as rapidly as possible in normal and abnormal condition. Dysarthria. Another example in which failure of progression occur is in talking, because the formation of word depends on rapid and orderly succession of individual muscles movement in larynx, mouth and respiratory system. Lack of coordination among these and inability to adjust in advance either the intensity of sound or the duration of each successive sound causes jumbled vocalization, with some symbol loud, some weak, some held for long interval, some held for short intervals. Resultant speech there is unintelligible. This is called dysarthria. Intention tremor. When a person who lost the cerebellum performs a voluntary act, the movement tends to oscillate, especially when they approach the intended mark, first overshooting the mark, then vibrating back and forth several times before setting on the mark. This is called intention or action tremor. It results from cerebellar overshooting and failure of cerebellar system to dump the motor movement. Cerebellar nystagmus. It is the tremor of the eyeball that occur usually when one attempts to fix the eye on a sense to one side of the head. This off-center type of fixation results in rapid tremulous movement of the eye rather than steady fixation. This is the another manifestation of failure of damping by cerebellum. This occurs usually when the flocculonodular lobe of cerebellum are damaged. It also associated with loss of equilibrium because of dysfunction of the pathway through the flocculonodular cerebellum from the semicircular duct. Then hypotonia and atonia. Cerebellar lesion causes hypotonia or atonia depending upon the severity of lesion and causes disturbance in the postural reflexes. Loss of deep cerebellar nuclei, particularly dentate and interposed nuclei, causes decreased tone of peripheral body musculature on the side of cerebellar lesion. Hypotonia results from loss of cerebellar facilitation of motor cortex and brainstem motor nuclei by tonic signal from deep cerebellar nuclei to the gamma motor neuron in spinal cord via cerebellovestibulospinal and cerebelloreticulospinal fibers. In the deep reflex, there is pendular movement when we eliciting the tendon jerk. That is, a tap on patellar tendon when leg is hanging freely causes brisk extension of leg due to contraction of the quadriceps muscle. In normal condition, after extension, the leg return back to the resting position immediately. But in cerebellar lesion, the legs shows pendular movement. Disturbance in equilibrium. While standing, the legs are spread to provide broad base and the body sways a side to side with oscillation of the head. And while moving, which is called gait, which means manner of walking. In cerebellar lesion, staggering and reeling and drunken-like gait is observed. Rebound phenomena is the another characteristic of cerebellar lesion is the inability to put on the brake to stop the movement promptly. When the patient attempts to do movement against resistance, if the resistance is suddenly removed, the limb moved forcibly to the direction in which attempt was made. This is called rebound phenomena. It occurs due to absence of braking action of antagonistic muscle. For example, flexion of the forearm against resistance is quickly checked when the resistance force is suddenly broken off. The patient with cerebellar lesion cannot stop the movement of limb and forearm flies backward in wide arc. Decomposition of movement. In patients with cerebellar lesions have difficulty performing action that involve simultaneous action at more than one joint. They dissect such movement and carry them out one joint at a time. A phenomenon is called decomposition of movement. In management of ataxia is primarily supportive, is often include physical, occupational and speech therapy. Attempts to identify effective drug therapy have met with little success. Deep brain stimulation of ventral intermediate nucleus of thalamus may reduce cerebellar tremor, but it is less effective in reducing ataxia. There is some evidence that a deficiency of coenzyme Q10 contributes to the abnormalities seen in some form of familial ataxia. If low level of coenzyme Q10 is detected, then treatment to replace the missing this substance has been shown to be beneficial. In test for cerebellar lesion, these are finger nose test, gait test for ataxic gait, speech টেস্টের মধ্যে আছে স্লার স্পিচ and ocular movement for cerebellar nystagmus. Thanks.